Another day, another story. Here's how Alexander, one of history's most iconic military leaders, grew the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedonia and conquered the Persian Empire. Alexander the Great stands as one of the most iconic military leaders in history. Welcome to Turbo Eminent Channel. In 336 BCE, at the age of 20, he succeeded his father, Philip II, as king of the Greek kingdom of Macedonia. He then began a series of aggressive military campaigns to secure the territories already under his control and expand his rule eastward. As king, Alexander successfully conquered the First Persian Empire, extending Macedonia's territories as far as modern-day Pakistan and India. During those campaigns, he spread Greek culture across the Middle East, boosting the development of Hellenistic culture after his death in 323 BCE. Alexander's military career stands out for his many victories, even when his forces were severely outnumbered. Historians also note how he reportedly always insisted on leading his troops from the front lines of battle. As a result, he sustained numerous serious wounds, among them a cleaver slash to the head, a sword gash in the thigh, a catapult missile lodged in his shoulder, and an arrow that pierced his lung and allegedly almost killed him. Here are some of Alexander's most significant battles, plus one siege that had lasting effects on the environment that we can still observe today. Battle of the Granicus River, 334 BCE. Alexander's first major victory against the Persian Empire came at the Granicus River in Asia Minor, or Anatolia, which makes up the western half of modern-day Turkey. In this battle, Alexander invaded Persian territory and fought against the empire's satraps, or regional governors. Alexander's victory established Macedonian rule in Asia Minor, kicking off his invasion of the Persian Empire. It emboldened him to move further into the empire's territory, coming up against the forces of King Darius III. This was Alexander's first major battle against the Persian Empire. The Macedonian army, led by Alexander, faced off against Persian forces along the Granicus River in Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey. The Battle of Granicus in 334 BC marked the beginning of Alexander the Great's campaign against the mighty Persian Empire. As he approached the Granicus River, located in what is now modern-day Turkey, he was met by an army of Persian satraps and Greek mercenaries. The Persians, confident in their position, took to high ground on the opposite bank of the river, believing the rushing waters would deter any immediate Macedonian assault. However, Alexander, never one to shy away from a challenge, saw this as an opportunity rather than a hindrance. Drawing upon his innate military genius, Alexander decided to attack at dusk, a time generally considered unfavorable for battles. The Persians expected him to set camp and wait till daybreak. Instead, he led a cavalry charge across the river, taking the enemy by surprise. The Macedonian phalanx followed, pushing through the water and forming up on the other side to engage the enemy's center. The Persian and Greek mercenary infantry found themselves hard-pressed against the famed Macedonian spears, while on the flanks, Alexander's companion cavalry clashed fiercely with Persian cavalry. The turning point came when Alexander, leading a group of his companions, launched a daring charge aimed directly at the Persian commanders. In the brutal melee, many Persian leaders were killed, causing a collapse in the morale and organization of their troops. In the aftermath of the battle, the Persian forces faced significant casualties, and their Greek mercenary allies were captured. Instead of punishing them, Alexander, always the strategist, offered them a place in his army, recognizing their value as experienced fighters familiar with the region. Battle of Issus, 333 BCE. Alexander's first battle against King Darius III, ruler of the Persian Empire, took place in the ancient town of Issus, in what is now modern-day Turkey. Like the Battle of Granicus, this was still on the western edge of the Persian Empire. This is very significant, because why would the Persian king decide to come to meet Alexander right on the very west of his empire? Cartledge asks. He posits that Alexander's campaign in Asia Minor was so threatening that Darius decided he, personally, must rally his Persian troops and lead them in a big battle. Fought between Alexander and Persian King Darius III, the Battle of Issus took place near the town of Issus in present-day Turkey. Despite being outnumbered, Alexander's strategic genius and the superior training of his troops led to a significant victory. Darius III fled the battlefield, leaving his family and treasure behind, falling into Alexander's hands. The year 333 BC witnessed one of the most pivotal confrontations between the burgeoning Macedonian Empire and the ancient colossus of Persia, the Battle of Issus. Set against the backdrop of southern Anatolia's coastal plains, this battle would bring Alexander face to face with the Persian king, Darius III. Upon realizing the gravity of the Macedonian threat after earlier defeats, Darius mustered a vast army, drawing from the vast reaches of his empire. It was a force that dwarfed Alexander's in terms of raw numbers. However, the chosen battleground near the Pinarus River inadvertently negated the numeric advantage of the Persians. The narrow plain, flanked by mountains and the sea, restricted the deployment of Darius's larger army, preventing him from fully enveloping the Macedonian forces. As the two armies clashed, the Macedonian phalanx, a solid wall of spears and shields, advanced steadily against the Persian center. To their left, Alexander, leading the companion cavalry, engaged in a fierce contest with Persian cavalry units. The Macedonian king eyed a breakthrough that would allow him to strike at Darius directly. The ensuing melee was brutal and intense, with both sides enduring heavy losses. Yet, it was Alexander's audacity and keen tactical eye that would shift the balance. Identifying a weak point in the Persian line, he led a daring cavalry charge, aiming to break through and target Darius himself. The suddenness and ferocity of this charge caused a ripple effect. As Darius's position became increasingly precarious, the Persian king, fearing for his life, chose to withdraw from the battlefield. His departure sowed confusion and panic in the Persian ranks, turning an already challenging situation into a rout. Alexander's victory at Issus was monumental. The capture of Darius's family, who were present at the battleground, provided him with valuable hostages. But beyond the immediate military gains, Issus was a psychological victory. Alexander's army defeated the Persian soldiers, marking a key victory in his quest to conquer the Persian Empire. Darius survived to face Alexander again 2 years later in the Battle of Gaugamela. Siege of Tyre, 332 BCE. After decisively defeating Darius at the Battle of Issus, Alexander went to Tyre. Located in modern-day Lebanon, Tyre is one of the oldest continually inhabited cities in history. At the time, Tyre was located on an island surrounded by fortified walls, a challenge for military invaders. Tyre was a heavily fortified island city located off the coast of present-day Lebanon. The city-state refused to submit to Alexander's rule, leading to a lengthy and difficult siege that lasted for 7 months. Alexander's engineers eventually built a causeway, connecting the island to the mainland, allowing his forces to breach Tyre's defenses and conquer the city. Alexander attacked the city by building a causeway from the mainland to the island, and built siege towers on the causeway from which his troops could attack the city. The siege succeeded, and Alexander took the city. But the causeway he built had another, unintended historical impact. Over time, silt settled around this causeway, helping to form the isthmus that now connects Tyre to the mainland. Battle of Gaugamela, 331 BCE. Alexander and Darius' second and final battle took place in modern-day Iraq, in the ancient village of Gaugamela. Although Darius' army outnumbered Alexander's troops, Alexander once again defeated the Persian king in battle. With this victory, Alexander claimed control of the Persian Empire. Darius escaped alive, but was murdered in 330 BCE by one of his provincial governors. This battle, fought near the village of Gaugamela, in present-day Iraq, was one of the most significant encounters between Alexander and Darius III. Despite being outnumbered once again, Alexander used brilliant tactics to outmaneuver the larger Persian army. The victory shattered the Persian Empire and led to the eventual capture of Darius III, although he managed to escape and was later assassinated. After winning Gaugamela, the Persian Empire, the rest of it, is at Alexander's mercy, Cartledge says. It's only a matter of time, really, before he gets it all physically under his control. Battle of the Persian Gate, 330 BCE. The ancient city of Persepolis, located in modern-day Iran, was one of the capitals of the Persian Empire during Darius III's reign. With Darius defeated, Alexander marched his army toward the Persian Gate mountain pass outside the city. Alexander defeated the Persian troops defending the mountain pass, allowing him to capture and then burn the city of Persepolis. Having gained control of the seat of the Persian Empire, Alexander marched east to establish his rule over the parts of the empire that extended into modern-day Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. Battle of the Hydaspes, 326 BCE. Alexander's last major military victory came at the Hydaspes River, now known as the Jhelum River, in modern-day Pakistan. There, he fought against King Porus and encountered foes he'd never seen before, war elephants, 200 of which Porus troops used in battle. While Hydaspes was the closest Alexander ever came to defeat, his forces ultimately prevailed. Alexander allowed Porus to remain a local ruler if he pledged loyalty to Alexander, the new king of the Persian Empire. With the eastern border of the empire secured, Alexander returned to the central part of the empire. But he would fight no more. In 323 BCE, Alexander became ill and died in the ancient city of Babylon, located in modern-day Iraq. The cause of death is unknown, because the 32-year-old ruler left no heir or clear successor. His death sparked a series of wars over who would take over his vast empire. Fought against King Porus of Porava, in modern-day Pakistan, along the Hydaspes River, This battle showcased Alexander's military brilliance in overcoming difficult geographical and numerical odds. Despite facing a larger and well-equipped Indian army, Alexander's strategic maneuvering and the valor of his soldiers resulted in victory. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.